Hi, I'm David Lewington and welcome to FRUEHAUF. We've been building bulk tipper trailers here for over 100 years. We have a 570,000 square foot factory behind me on a 67-acre site in Grantham, Lincolnshire. Here we make over 600 bulk tipper trailers a year. We make 100 tipper blower trailers a year, 200 crane lorries and 50 drawbar trailers. Why don't you come inside and take a look with me? So welcome to our factory. Inside, what you can see here is a lot of raw material that we bring into the factory. We work with grade A steel and aluminium, and in FRUEHAUF we make 95% of the product here. So we bring in raw materials, raw aluminium, raw steel. We bring it into the production line where we cut it, we mill it, we drill it, we bend it. We put it into our stores ready for production to go into our trailers. So on our right hand side here, you can see our CNC machines. Raw steel is placed on the table, pulled into the CNC machine, where inside it's cut into small components. The CNC laser machine allows us to forensically position a laser onto the metal and cut really small components. You'll be able to see just to the side here some of the components that have actually been produced from the machine this morning. And this is done all day in the factory. We actually have 4 CNC machines down the side here. Raw materials on one side, finished materials come out the other side. And you can see, because we use a CNC machine, there's very little waste. It's a bit like the old Airfix kits that you used to get as a child. You use the absolute most and all you're leaving is a very small amount of scrap metal. You can see the next machine, steel's going in. It's a little bit thicker steel. There's a program that gets put onto the computer, and the laser will move into the steel and cut it appropriately for the parts. As we walk down the factory, you'll see a lot of different components on either side. And with it being an old-fashioned engineering factory, it's lots of different cuts and shapes and sizes that we have to make in here. And you'll start to see on this side some of the older equipment that we store here as well. So in some of the older engineering factories, they would get rid of the millers and the turners and these types of old equipment. But in FRUEHAUF, we still have a use for them, for very bespoke components that we still need to make. So as you come down, you'll see some of these machines would be over 100 years old, but they're serviced every year and will run for another 500 years should we need them to. So for example, this part here that's been made by the turner, this will actually go on the end of the trailer, and the doors will be hung on top of this, and the doors will swing off of this hinge that's fitted to the side of the trailer. So still has a real purpose using this equipment, but for a smaller amount of jobs now. More and more of the work is able to be done with the CNC machines, but we still need to keep these machines and the operators, because there's still some parts that we need to use from these machines. As we come down here, you'll see the modern day manufacturing where we have our first laser robot that's come into the factory to help us with our efficiencies and to make the product more competitive. So where we're bringing robots into our factory, it's not to replace a human being, it's to make the factory more efficient and to make the products that we build more cost effective for the customers. So if you come round this side, you'll be able to see actually inside the robotic welder. So it's not in operation right this moment, but you can see that on the table are some quite intricate welds. And the benefit of using the machine, as you can see, one continuous weld, really smooth, well finished. When you're using a handheld robotic welder, you've got little lumps and it's not quite as consistent as this. So the idea is that we have robots to supplement the 32 welders that we already have on site doing the hand welding, not to replace them, but to add value to that department. As we come along, we're moving into our stores. We have about 2,000 different parts that will be used in making the FRUEHAUF range of trailers. So we have 5 different trailers we build here: the half pipe, the bathtub, the sloper and the step frame. And most recently we built a brand new product called our blower trailer. So it's a tipper that also blows animal feed out through hoses into silos at a distance. And this is the first new product FRUEHAUF's built in nearly 10 years. So 5 main products, lots of different production lines, a major stores of parts, lots of cutting, shaping, bending of steel, ready to be fitted onto trailers. You can see here the likes of, this is a FRUEHAUF side guard, so you can see the machines actually cut out the metal, and this will go literally on the side of the trailer and it'll be painted into the customer's colours. So you'll actually see these out on the road. Some of these components here, this is the catwalk that goes on the end of the trailer that allows you to inspect into the load. And as you look around, you can see there's lots of little smaller components that would make up a FRUEHAUF trailer. So everything's stored in here. Once we've got the production going, the line, the nester department will come in and choose the products and take them over to the line for production. On our right hand side here, we have a massive store, so you can see the size and scale of the factory. But as you come along here, and as we look down to the bottom of the factory here, you might actually see a new robot that's been installed down the bottom. So we now have a brand new robot just on the right hand side here. And what this robot will do is chassis builds. It'll allow us to build 4 complete chassis every day. And the target of FRUEHAUF is to build 15 trailers a week. So you can see by bringing the robot in, it automatically allows us to hit the target for building chassis. This will be able to work day and night, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with just one operator supervising it, as opposed to maybe 6 welders doing it by hand. The benefit though is the welders that won't be welding anymore will be managing the robots. You still need a human being to physically manage the robots themselves. If we look up to the top here, you'll see a massive machine. This is what we call a shock blaster, the green machine in the distance. And beyond that is what we would call a sandblaster. So at FRUEHAUF we use a system called the Axle Nova paint system. Everything has to be shock blasted, everything has to be sandblasted, then everything's roughed down by hand. We then put in a primer coat, an undercoat and a top coat. And they're very strict, Axle Nova. They will do spot inspections on our paint system at the drop of a hat, and if they're not entirely happy, they'll insist that the trailer's repainted. So it allows us to give an extended warranty on all of our painting of trailers. As we come through to the next part of the factory, you'll start to see things being assembled and put together. On our left-hand side is we use jigs to create some of our trailers. So the metal will physically be fitted round the jig. It'll be turned upside down and then taken for sandblasting and shock blasting and painting. So we're still using some of the jigs that were made over 50 years ago to form the basic part of the trailer. Probably the most exciting news that we've had in FRUEHAUF for a while. We were bought over 4 years ago by MV Commercial, a lorry mounted crane specialist company who've been building crane lorries for 30 years. So as you look down the production line here, you can see lots of different chassis. The customer will choose whether they want a Volvo, a DAF, a Scania chassis. We'll buy those in, we'll build a new subframe on top with a turntable, and we'll mount a really big, heavy crane on top of that. And these crane lorries can be used for moving statues in cities, putting porta cabins on and putting them over the roofs of houses, hot tubs, garden lodges, all sorts of different applications. And we make about 200 of these lorry mounted cranes every year now. On this side of the factory we have what you would call probably the finishing end. So we're seeing products starting to come through. The bodies will be mounted onto the roller coaster and taken into the paint oven, where they'll be painted by hand. We do plan to move to a more robotic paint system in the future, but currently we have hand painters that still do things the old-fashioned way. If you come along, you should be able to take a wee look in the window, and inside here you can still see the chaps are doing things by hand. So they're going round the body and they're basically just getting any high points and flushing them down, ready for doing the painting. Once it's painted, the body will come out the other end and it'll be fitted to its chassis in what we call the marriage. But as we go down here, this is what we call our bathtub trailer. We have these continuous ribs that go around it. We don't have to weld these because we have a steel bending machine that can do all of these ribs in one piece. It means there isn't a weld in the middle, and it makes the trailer a lot stronger and more durable. Behind you we have what we call our half-pipe trailer. This is used more for aggregate, cement, stone. So it's thicker walls, a heavier door, and it's made to carry stone, which if we didn't make the walls thicker, the product could punch through the sides. So this trailer is specifically for the construction industry. The bathtub trailer would be for construction and agriculture. And we would sell probably about 50 each of these trailers a year. Our most popular trailer that we build is called the Sloper. And it works as a plank sider, so you can see down the side here, the trailer's made up of lots of individual aluminium planks that are welded down the seam to the body. It means that the trailer's more lightweight but very strong. So we've got a steel chassis, aluminium body, the result of which means we can carry a payload of about 29 tonnes in a Sloper trailer, whereas a bathtub trailer would be able to carry a little bit less because of the weight of the vehicle itself. So at FRUEHAUF, we're always listening to our customers. We're always trying to identify better ways to make the product. We're always trying to get the customer to have more load in the trailer because the load is where the money's at. So all the time we're trying to look at ways we can reduce the weight, increase the payload, but keep the trailer as strong and durable as possible. FRUEHAUF as a company, for every 10 trailers that are made in the UK, 4 of them come from this factory here in Grantham. So we have a really big responsible place in the marketplace. And from next month, we will be fitting every trailer with all the safety features as standard. Tyre pressure monitoring system, electronic brake monitoring system, a brake on the third axle, lots of different computer programs to stop the operator being able to drive when the trailer's tipped. So we're going to fit these things as standard. We don't want to take any chances with safety. If you look inside the floor of a FRUEHAUF trailer, you'll see there's a weld just along here. How we build our trailers is a 6mm sheet from here to the top, but we make it an 8mm sheet at the bottom because this is where the majority of the load will sit all the time. It allows the trailer probably another 6 to 7 years of life before the floor might need replaced. If we made this all 6mm, this would wear down really quickly. So again, it's just listening to our customers, making the trailer more robust and making it last longer for our customers. Again, as we come down, we really do pride ourselves on the quality of the paint. I mean, it just looks fantastic. The benefit of a FRUEHAUF is in 3 to 5 years' time, once it's cleaned, the trailer will still look like this. And it will hold its residual value much better than any other trailer that's made in the UK. But just as you look at it, the wheels, the paint, the sheet, it's just a phenomenal product. You see steel and aluminium coming in one side, you see this beautiful product coming out the other side. And we make 600 of these a year. The very last part of the process is to inspect the trailers. So we've taken the steel, the aluminium, we've bent it, we've shaped it, we've welded it, we've created a trailer. We now need to make sure that it's ready to go to work. So what we would do is we bring it into this area which is called our PDI area, which is pre-delivery inspection. There's a 100-point safety check done to make sure that every single thing on the trailer is absolutely perfect. This trailer will not leave here until we feel it's perfect. The guys who do the PDI, we hire them specifically for their attitude. They have a bad attitude to defects, so anything that's not done 100% will be put back to the factory and corrected. Very important. So once everything's inspected and signed off, the trailers will be brought out into the yard, ready for collection. One last thing that we do here at FRUEHAUF is we offer a full livery service, and 80% of our customers would have us basically put the stickers and the livery on the trailer for them too. And we have a separate part of the factory that does that work. So in essence, a customer will come to us with a design, we'll build the trailer for them, we'll paint the trailer for them, we'll PDI the trailer for them, we'll sticker the trailer for them, we'll register it for use, and all the driver has to do is come in and take it to work. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look around our factory, and hopefully if you have a need in the future, you'll buy a FRUEHAUF. And I guess we look forward to seeing all of you at Cereals 2026, where we will be co-hosting the event at Diddley Squat Farm.